Okay, so good morning to you all. Is my voice audible to you?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Okay. So today we will study about the various techniques for representing the complex logic. So we will talk about the decision table, the decision tree, how we use these structures, which also you may have used in your compiler design, decision table, decision logic, and all this. Last class we were studying about the organization of the SRS document, how given a project or a work, how I will study, how the analyst will study, and he will section and write everything, sectioning something into functional requirements, then into non-functional requirements. So like this. Sometimes it happens that a very complex type of software needs to be built, or a complex type of requirements come from the users of the software. So for those instances, instead of uh, structuring it the way we have learned, we can structure it with the help of decision table and decision trees, such that it will be easier for the development team to understand. Just by seeing the picture, he will get an idea and he will start doing the logic or the programming part. So a good SRS document, it should properly characterize the conditions under which the different scenarios of interactions they occur. So a high level function, it definitely might involve different steps of low level functions, different decisions which need to be generated step by step in order to reach the high level decision. And sometimes what happened, these conditions, they become very complex, and alternative pictures or alternative processing sequences are required by the development team, based on which they will develop the software. So in such situations, as we are talking about, the decision tree and the decision table, they can be used to represent the logic and the processing involved. 1 minute, I will just. So these two structures, they are used to represent the logic and to represent the processing which is involved in uh, implementing the logic. So two main techniques are available to analyze and represent this complex processing logic. One is the decision tree and another is the decision table. So once the decision making logic is captured in the form of these trees or tables, then the test cases which will validate this logic, they can be automatically obtained. So first we can formulate this decision tree and decision table representing the logic which we want to implement, and then from these tree and tables we automatically can build the test cases which will help us to validate this logic. Okay, so first let us talk about this decision tree. One minute, my just so we will talk about this decision tree first. Okay, So this decision tree, they give a graphical view of the processing logic which is involved. So decision trees, they give a view or a graphical view of what processing needs to be done, what decision needs to be done, or what actions needs to be done. And this decision table, they will specify which variables are to be tested, and based on this concept, what actions are to be taken. So so decision tree, they will specify that what are the options that may be required. They will specify the overall view of the processing logic that is required. And this decision table, they will specify that which variables are to be tested, or what are the test cases that need to be formed. And based on these, what actions are to be taken depending upon the outcome of the decision making logic in the decision tree phase. And also, when we are talking about the variables are to be tested and the test cases are to be prepared, decision tables, they also specify the order in which this decision making is performed. So both of these two structure, they have two different working or two different importance in view of this entire SRS document representation. One will specify the overall view of the system and the logic which is need to be performed, and another will specify based on the logic which is being shown by this decision tree, that what are the test cases that needs to be formed in order to comply this logic which is displayed using decision tree. Then how will the test cases be formed, then how will the following which order the test cases will be executed, and so on. Okay, now these are the two concepts or the techniques which are used to represent the decision or complex decision logic. Now in a decision tree, when we talk about tree, we will definitely have some edges, right? So the edges in a decision tree, they will represent the conditions. Conditions means that whether it is a new member operation to be performed, suppose for library, whether it is a renewal operation to be performed, like so on. And the leaf nodes, they will represent the actions to be performed. Depending on the outcome of testing the conditions. So the edges will represent the conditions, and on testing these conditions, on outcome of these conditions, what actions are to be performed, these will be represented at the leaf nodes. Okay. So this was about the entire concept of decision tree and decision table. And now let us study one example in order to understand how this entire thing is going. Now, suppose I am making a library membership management software. Okay, let's talk about the simplest one. So suppose this is my case. I have to make a library membership management software, and it should support the three options. It should support three options. The first one is new member option. Second one is renewal option. And third one is cancel membership option. Okay. So when the new member option is selected, generally the software should ask the member's name, address, phone number, and if proper information is entered, the software will create a membership record for the new member, and it will print a bill for the annual membership charge, and the security deposit will be payable. If the renewal option is chosen, then this library membership management software, it should ask the member's name and his membership number and check whether he is a valid member. So if the member details which is entered is valid, then the membership expiry date which is mentioned in the membership record, it should be updated. And then again the annual membership charge payable by the member should be printed. And if the membership details which is entered are invalid, then an error message should be displayed, like this is not any right membership details, or you are not a member of this software, or something like this. And if the cancel membership option is selected and the name of a valid member is, suppose when I select cancel membership, the software will ask which member I need to cancel the membership of, right? So then I will enter the name of this valid member, then the membership is cancelled, and the balance amount which is due to the member. Suppose I have given an annual membership of 300 rupees and I am living in between 6 months. After 6 months, maybe there's a policy of this company that they will return the half membership if anyone leaves in the midway. So this amount I need to be refunded from the company. So the balance amount which is due to the member, which is printed, and then his membership record is deleted. Now, this is the entire scenario which this software will be making. Now, if this entire problem representation, I need to do it in the form of decision tree, how I will do it, okay? Let us do that. Now, can anyone say that if at the beginning only, if I do a valid selection, what are the two options that may come from the user if it is a valid selection? If I am checking, I have said that these ages, they represent the conditions. So if in my condition, I am checking whether it is a valid selection or not, what are the two answers that may come? The two answers that may come is either a yes or a no. If it is a yes, then what are the three options that may come? Either this or this or this. So the first can be the option of a new member. The second can be the option of renewal. And the third can be the option of a cancel membership. If I select the option of a new member, then they will ask for what? They will ask for the member's name, address. They will then create the membership, and then they will print the amount which the member needs to pay, right? If I select the second option, that is a renewal, then first they will ask for my membership details, whether to check whether I am actually a member or not. So where they will ask for the membership details and they will update my expiry date. And again, they will print my bill. And if I select a cancel membership, they will ask again my membership details. Then they will delete the record and they will print the due amount, right? So these are the works or the actions which needs to be taken based on the accomplishments of these conditions, okay? And on the first instance only, if it is not a valid selection, then it will display some error message. So this is the decision tree for this case study example which I was explaining. This is how you will draw the decision tree, right? So the internal loads, that is these nodes, they represent the conditions, and the edges of the tree, they correspond to the outcome of the corresponding conditions. So these are the internal nodes. They will represent the condition if it is a yes or no or something like that. These are the edges. So the edges will represent the outcome of the corresponding condition. So if it is a yes condition, 3 options can be there. If it is not a valid selection, 1 option is there. So these will represent the outcome of the corresponding conditions, these edges. And these are the nodes which will represent, or the internal nodes which will represent the conditions. And the leaf nodes, these represent the actions which are to be performed by the system. So in the decision tree, what happened is the user selection is first checked, and whether based on whether the selection is valid or not, either further condition checking is undertaken or an error message is displayed. So this is the way how you represent the decision tree. That is, given any case and given certain conditions, you use the concept of internal loads, some condition checking based on the outcome of these conditions, what are the ages that are to be performed, and based on each and every age, there will be a set of actions to be performed which are represented as leaf nodes. Okay, so this is the way how we represent the decision tree. Now we will talk about the decision table. So the decision table which we are talking about, it will show the decision making logic and the corresponding actions which are taken, but in a tabular or matrix form. In decision tree, the entire graphic representation of was there, graphical view was there, but in decision table, everything will be showcased in the form of a table or a matrix. The upper rows of the table, it will specify the variables or the conditions which are to be evaluated. And the lower rows specify the actions to be taken. when an evaluation test is satisfied. Okay. And these are of rows and there will be columns. So a column is a decision table. It's called a rule. Okay. And what does a rule implies? It will imply that if a certain condition combination is true, then the corresponding action is executed. Okay. So these are the basic concepts of decision table, where the upper rows will represent the variables of the conditions which I want to check. The lower rows of the table will represent the actions which are to be taken in order to, after the conditions are evaluated. And each and every column is called a rule. And if the rule will imply that if a certain condition combination is true, then the corresponding action is taken. Okay. Now, these are the concepts. Now, the same example or the same case study which we studied, that of the library membership management software, with the just the case study which we explained or learned using the decision tree, how it will loop using the decision table. Okay, the same problem. So let us just draw it and understand what are the meaning of these writings. So like this. Okay. Now, when the valid selection was wrong, fine, then none of these cases it will branch to my valid selection was none, and it will display error message, right? When my valid selection was yes, and the new member I am selecting, then what are the options it showed is asked me membership details, it asked me, it billed me the customer record, and it generated the bill. When the valid selection was yes, and we are opting for renewal, then what happened? Then it asked for membership details. It updated our expiry date, and again it generated the bill. Now if you see this generate bill, that is print bill line, this line for the decision tree I have written 3 times, but for decision table I am writing it only 1 time, and for each and every condition where it is true I will just tick on the same row. I need not need to write the same action multiple times. Okay. Now, if the valid selection was yes and I was choosing cancellation, then what was happening? It will ask me the membership details. It will here I will have to write one. There is not space, so it will delete the record and again it will generate the bill. Right. So this generate bill option was there for new member, renewal and cancellation, but only 1 time I have written. I have not written for 3 times because only 1 time I will write, and for all the condition combination where it will be 2, I will simply take it. Okay. So this is the concept that how the decision table is made and how the decision tree is made. This is the this is how I portrayed the same case study using decision table, and how using that decision tree I portrayed. Now, instead of writing dash over here, you need to write a no. Why I am telling you? Because these conditions are not true, you will write a no. Okay. So this decision table and decision tree, both this decision table and decision tree, they can be used to represent complex program logic, and they can be distinguishable on this on several considerations. One is the readability. So decision trees are obviously easier to read and understand when the number of conditions are small. Obviously, decision trees are easy to read and understand. And on the other hand, a decision table causes the analyst to look at every possible combination of conditions, which he might otherwise like miss fire. So every condition combination I have to check, and in that particular cell value under that particular column, I will have to do a tick. So in contrast to decision table, obviously decision tree is much more easier and it is much more readable. So readability wise, decision tree is better. Then comes the condition that representation of order of decision making. So the order of decision making is better in decision table. So decision trees are not that much useful when it considers like hierarchically. Decision tables are only used to represent the single decision and appropriate action which has to be needed for execution. For representation of complex logic. Obviously, decision tree will become very complex to understand when the number of conditions and actions will increase. So even to draw the tree on a single page may become difficult. So when large number of decisions are involved, the decision table representation, it may be preferred. So when given that decision tree versus decision table, which is better, it is very difficult to say which is better, depending on the software which is to be built, contrasting the software, then I can say that which one is better. Otherwise, from readability aspect, decision tree is better. From complex logic representation aspect, decision table is better. And for order of decision making aspect also, decision table is better. A decision tree is better. So for this, decision tree is better. For this, decision tree is better. But for this, decision table is better. Okay. So these are the decision table versus decision tree. So this was all about today's class, that is in order to represent any complex logic, how we can use the decision tree and the table concept in order to do that. In the next class, that is tomorrow, we will talk about the formal specification of the system. Okay. So now I will share with you the attendance. Hope you have understood it. And if in today's class you have any question, you may ask. So I will share with you the attendance so that you may leave the attendance. Okay, so everyone please mark your attendance, and those who are able to mark their attendance, they may leave the class after marking their attendance.